Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Lord Sheikh, conference organisers, Brother Iqbal. I'm very honoured to be standing here today in front of everybody talking about making Takaful the default option for consumers in Muslim countries. But I don't want it to just be a default option for consumers in Muslim countries. It can also become the default option for all consumers in all countries. And it's very important that we remember that. We've already had reference to the World Takaful report that Ernst & Young produces on an annual basis, and I'm happy to share a soft copy with anybody who requests one or hasn't had sight of it so far. Just let me know and I'll make sure we do share that with everybody. It brings insights from the global Takaful players and what's going on in the world, and also the challenges that people are facing. This year's theme has been transforming operating performance, and the reason why we've looked at transforming operating performance is a lot of Takaful companies out there today are really managing their business in a way that could be done in a much better way. They've set up and they've launched, they're in the marketplace, but there are an awful lot of inefficiencies in what they do. And again, a lot of those aspects are covered in the report itself. I'm not going to go through the detail of that here today, but do have a look at the report, and I'm sure there's much to be gained from that. So let me start off then by talking about Islamic Financial Services Group. Ernst & Young has a dedicated Islamic Financial Services Group based out of Bahrain, where we have a global centre of excellence for Islamic finance. And there we look after not only Takaful, but banking, capital markets, and also anything that's related to the government sector as well. We have an award-winning group there. It's been established for 13 years now, the longest of any of the consultancy firms around the world. And in total, it's had 300 plus unique projects. That's an awful lot of insight. And as a combined team, there's over 150 years of Islamic finance experience within the team. Again, quite a concentration when you look around for Islamic finance expertise. There is pretty much anything and everything that's been dealt with in terms of Islamic finance. We have a solution, we have dealt with it before. Let me move on from there. So the industry awards we've already won. We are renowned as being the experts in Islamic finance, and we also have a number of thought leadership pieces. So I've mentioned the World Takaful report. We also have an Islamic investments and funds report, and this year, for the first time, we'll also be launching an Islamic retail banking report. So the growth of the Takaful industry, I'm going to very quickly run through these slides. Alberto has already elaborated on the numbers. 2009 saw the industry grow to 7 billion. That was a 31% increase year on year. 2010, last year, it's on track to achieve 9 billion. And again, a very healthy increase of 29%. When you then look at 2012, we are expecting it to reach 14 billion. 2011, 12 billion. By 2015, we expect the Takaful industry globally to be worth 25 billion. Now that's doubling in 3 years. That's a phenomenal growth rate, and it's by far superseding the growth that anybody is seeing in insurance. So where are the concentrations? Is it just in the Middle East? Actually, no, it's not just the Middle East. We're beginning to see the Middle East concentration move out. We're now involved with Takaful companies and interest in Takaful across Africa, across the CIS states, Russia, and also now into continental Europe, which does also include the UK. We're also involved with Takaful companies who are looking to set up in the US and other parts of North America, namely Canada. So this is not a product only for the Muslim community and the Muslim states. This Takaful is a product actually that is universally accepted and can be universally accepted. But what's going to get it there? What's going to actually make Takaful succeed around the world? So the critical success factors. I'm going to keep it to one slide because this one slide actually covers pretty much everything that is needed. So if we look at it from a position of brand Takaful, what does it need for it to succeed? There's a number of different things, but it has to have a holistic approach. A Takaful operator is not going to make Takaful succeed on their own. The regulator isn't going to make it succeed on their own. The shareholders and other stakeholders aren't going to make it succeed on its own. It has to be done holistically by everybody playing their part. And by that, I mean looking at the chart you see. And by that, I mean looking at the chart you see. So competitive pricing. You can't get away from the fact that pricing will always be an issue. Whether you're talking personal lines, commercial lines, read Takaful, competitive pricing has to be there. And with competitive pricing, we also have to bear in mind the concept of Takaful. Everybody is now aware that there is something called surplus distribution. If your pricing is very competitive, can you actually afford to give a surplus distribution? These are the things that we need to address as an industry. And these are some of the questions that need to be answered by not only the operators, but actually the regulators and the Sharia scholars. Distribution. Again, let me talk about the GCC. GCC is a very well-connected country in terms of its IT infrastructure. People there are using mobile phones and smartphones for just about everything. The Arab Spring has not come about because people are picking the phone up or going for meetings. Smartphones allow instant connection, instant communication. Internet access is prevalent all around the GCC. So is an online facility, an online servicing, important for Takaful in the GCC? Absolutely. But when you look at the Takaful operators out there, less than 50% of them actually offer an online service. So again, it's important you get your distribution channels right. But just as Lord Shaker said, it's got to be done correctly for the market you're in. In Africa, again, a very strong growth market. In Africa, you don't have as strong an infrastructure as you have in other countries and other nations. So there, you have to look at what other distribution channels are available. It will be a broker system. It will be bank assurance. It won't necessarily be using technology today, but it will evolve to using technology tomorrow. And also, again, look at the UK market as a learning point. The UK market has evolved so far that 70% plus of all motor insurance for personal lines is now done on aggregator websites, and that number increases year on year. It won't be long before you see most other personal lines being followed on these aggregator websites. The rest of the world will also follow. And that links in, conveniently, to service. At the end of the day, it is all about service. You have to get the service right. If people are coming to you because you've got your pricing correct, they've got the distribution channels that they need, that they're going to service, that they're going to meet their needs, they can buy the products when they want, they can check the product when they want. If the service isn't right, why will they stay?